old bedsit blogger here, and yes, look, my green screen is out. Mr. Himotep, not the Egyptian god, the YouTuber Mr. Himotep, asked me what kind of fantasy places in games, books, or whatever would I like to live in for a day. So I thought I'd do that and use green screen to illustrate it. The first one is, it would be really interesting to kind of tag along with Halo Jones. Halo Jones was an amazing comic. It started off that Halo Jones was living in these floating islands that they'd have in the sea for the unemployed people, so they wouldn't make the cities untidy, and they'd live in these islands. She eventually decided to race a friend to across the other side of the galaxy, and was a cocktail waitress on a starship, and ended up in an army fighting on a planet with extreme gravity, so time runs really slowly. She ended up being the lover of a tyrant of universes, and yeah, it was an amazing kind of covers everything in sci-fi. Another 2000 AD thing. And the reason my hair is in this particular haircut is for one of the characters from Bad Company, a guy called Malcolm, who had a dreadlock Mohican, and I really wanted a dreadlock Mohican, but never got around to the dreadlocks, and kind of never really got around to the Mohican. Just shaved the sides of my head, and I've kind of basically had this haircut from when I was 15 because of Malcolm from Bad Company. So I think it would be quite interesting to hang out in the world of Bad Company, which was, a futuristic war film. And, I think, I personally wouldn't do well in war. I don't want to kill anyone. But, it's for one day. And 3, a very important seminal game for computer games was Manic Miner and Jet Set Willy as well. It would be really interesting to live in that world. Now, but I've got, not in the ZX Spectrum one. What I'd like is for the modern computer games programmers to do Jet Set Willy, perhaps in a GTA style video where you actually are in his mansion and you've got to go and collect the glasses. It was a crazy world where you'd go through one door and there'd be the roots of a banyan tree, and you had to collect glasses from a party that he'd been having. Red Dead Redemption. It's a cowboy game, and there is something great about just getting on your horse and riding across the plains and just going for a ride. And I used to go and watch wildlife, occasionally shoot a bit of wildlife. But there was just something great. It was a great game. There's a moment when you cross over the border into Mexico, which is brilliant. Thomas Covenant trilogy is possibly a bit along the lines of Lord of the Rings, but with more lepers and for someone who is a bit depressed, to be honest. And it's thicker and longer, but there are some fantastic descriptions of various places that Thomas Covenant goes to, and one of them is this. There's lots of people who can manipulate different elements and he goes to the wood folk, I can't remember what they're called, and goes to their parliament, for want of a better word, which they've fashioned out of a living oak, and they're able to get oak to bend into shapes, and like, the thought of living in that oak world with all these trees, it's brilliant. I often imagine what it would be like if in England we'd evolved in a way that meant we didn't cut down all the trees, and England would still be coast to coast forest, and we lived in and around the forest and within the forest and kind of worked with nature. But then that's because I'm a silly old hippie. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.